Hey guys, thanks again for tuning into another episode of the Marc and Friends podcast. This is episode 5 featuring one of my really good buddies, Levi Mann. I feel like I've said everyone's my really good friend so far, and it's because they are, right? 'Cause it's episode 5. I'm not going to just have like some random guy, some random person on episode 5. I'm like, yeah, I met, I've shook this person's hand 3 times or something like that. Friend of a friend. I know their uncle. I used to work with their uncle. They said, this kid wanted to do my podcast, or maybe that's like episode 23 or something, right? Like we'll save that. But for now, these next few episodes are like some of my really good buddies. The next 2 episodes are some of the closest comedian friends of mine that I haven't had on yet. And so please enjoy. It's my really good buddy Levi Mann. I find him on Twitter at oh hey man. That's MANN, and of course Levi Mann on Facebook. I had a lot of fun, man. Me and Levi have a ton of fun together. Whenever we travel somewhere, we do a show out of town. Or we did a little road trip earlier in the year to Montreal. Me and him and David Green, of course, from episode 2. We had a blast, and sorry, episode 3, David Green was on. My apologies. So have a lot of fun listening to my good friend Levi and I have some little banter. And thanks again for listening, guys. Peace out. Boop a doop boop 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 a doop boop boop bop bop boop a doop boop boop bop bop. It's time for Marc and Friends. It's time again.
I'm gonna be talking from here probably when I get excited things. As long as you can still pick me up from there.
I can pick you up.
All right, cool.
I got you, Levi, man. We got it recording right now. I think it's good to start like just.
When you didn't know already?
Yeah, because like we have really good banter. We do, man. We have great banter, me and you.
This is true.
This is true, man. We've been talking. It's almost like we were together all day, and it's almost like
don't even care. Don't even care.
Can we just stop talking? Because like, what if like we talk all day and then we get to the podcast and we're just like, man, I'm not fucking anything to say to you at this point in time.
Remember earlier today we were having a good time joking with each other?
Yeah,
it's gone.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it. We can only enjoy each other for so long, and then it's just over from there.
Not even. It's just now that it's monitored. Now I'm like thinking conscientiously what comes out of your head, anyways.
And plus, like when we greet each other, we go top comic 2015. Oh no, yours 2014. I'm 2015. Yeah, so we go 2014, 2015. How are you?
14, 15.
And I'm guessing there's not going to be a 2016, right? Us two. It's just us two. That's it.
Because the next thing that won locally in Niagara was you.
Yeah, and are you gonna do that again on August?
It was you,
August
and you
6th?
won Showtime, and now I'm in.
But it was my birthday, and I brought the whole crowd, and just use my old material that they haven't heard before. No,
seriously.
No, I did my
You brought a bunch of people out either way though, right?
Yeah, I brought a bunch of people. It was my birthday.
So
I invited all my aunts and uncles and stuff, like yeah, come out. And they're like, oh my God, that's so sweet of you. Like, that's so nice to invite us to. And then they get there and they realize like I'm using them, they're like, oh. And then they get there, I'm like, it's actually a competition. So I'm going to need you to stay to the end. Marguerite, you're not going anywhere. Sit down. Marguerite. Need your vote. Thanks for coming, though, guys. Thanks. That was it, man.
So angry. Angry.
Man, my family. I have an angry family. Honestly, I have like that's the thing. I have a very normal life. Like my life is very normal, and most comics are just like not even close to that. So either I'm not a good comedian, or my life is not normal. I don't know which one it is. I'm not sure, man. I feel like on the outside it looks like my life's normal, but then when I share people like my childhood stories about like my uncles giving me like Barbies for Christmas, and like I open up a Barbie in front of my whole family, and like my whole family laughs at me and stuff like that. Like that kind of thing. Like that's not normal, right? Like just this weird. Yeah. That's all I like. I don't know, man.
What have I gotten? I don't think I've just been disappointed with gifts for all my life.
Gifts,
I think.
man. What's like the worst gift? Clothes. I don't even like clothes.
On my I think it's 16th birthday or my 17th, somewhere in the middle, just kind of mid-range teen there. Every person in my family bought me the same gift.
No. Like how like How many people? Like how many?
4 or 5.
You got 4 or 5 of the same thing.
Yeah.
What was
Packs of socks. I had 90. Every person who gave me a gift gave me socks. I had literally 97 pairs of socks.
Do you still have them?
No, I rode them out for like a year and a half.
Did you
I did never buy socks for so long.
Were you just balling off socks? Like you wouldn't even rewear them. You just throw them out. You like wear them once and like
done. Disposable.
Man, that's always something. Like if I was ever like really rich, I would just wear socks once.
Yeah.
You know, like that's just.
Yeah.
Like that's like bitch, I'm so ballin', I only wear socks once. Like that's like a
white
rap.
socks though.
What?
White socks.
Yeah.
All right. Only
I
would put my black socks back on. There's something about a crusty, already moldy. It looks like your foot a little bit.
The bottom is like really smooth for some reason.
The oils of your foot have created like a sole in this material. And then you put on black socks and you're like, yeah, that's the left one.
Man,
that's the right one. But white socks, no.
I went shopping yesterday. I went to get like a nice dress shirt and stuff like that. And like ended up getting shoes. I wasn't expecting to get shoes. And I'm like, hey, do you have any little like sock things I can put on? Buddy goes into her drawer, pulls out like just random black socks that were just laying in the drawer.
That was what they had.
Yeah, like you know how like you can get like it's almost like stockings sometimes kind of thing.
Yeah, it's supposed to go.
I mean, it was on me. Like I should just had socks on. Like just be a decent human being, right?
Yeah,
like, just fucking.
Oh, you know what? Actually, that keys up. Not rocking underwear for a long time, and it's like not thinking like in what cases does it come up where you kind of need a pair?
Never.
It never does, except for when I got really, really stoned before an X-ray, and they're like, "Yeah, just strip down your boxers. Here's your cloak, and nurses over there." And I'm like, "Oh no. What do I do?"
That's not a good sign.
Dude, I was about to like get redressed and leave.
Dude, did you like go out to like the desk and be like, "Hey, I didn't." What you see is what you get. You know, there's nothing else to what you see here. You know.
No,
how did you handle that?
I just like I panicked for a moment in between, in a small changing curtain.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do I just leave? Do I just put my clothes on and go home? Like I put my jeans back on and I walked out. I'm like, what if I didn't wear underwear? Like, so you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand, lady. I don't understand how these things work. What happens then?
Did she reach into her drawer and just give you some random underwear? Like, just some used?
Man, she looked at me first, looked at the size, shuffled a couple pairs, gave me,
checked you out. Guys, a medium.
This'll do.
What'd she say?
They're all filed.
Yeah, they're so organized. And like there's patterns, like he seems like a polka dot. This guy's clearly a polka. He's not a plaid. He's not a plaid.
Whatever he's feeling.
But like really, what did she say?
I walked out and I didn't know what happened in this circumstance. I'm like, well, what happens if I didn't wear underwear?
Yeah.
And she's like, I took a step back and I don't think she'd ever considered it. Well, like, it just blew this girl's mind. She's like, what do we do? She's like, then stopped and she's like, just wear one cloak forward and one cloak backwards.
That's the move. That's the
I
move.
should have thought of that. Can I get
Double
another
cloaks.
cloak? Just put it over like a coat. The first one you step into, you swim into. Swim into the first one, and you put a second one on like a coat.
That'd be so much fun putting it on. It'd be like a dance craze.
It was, and at one point,
front cloak in, with the black cloak on.
The front cloak, yeah. Oh my god,
man.
The back cloak. And I actually stopped for a second to consider which one would look better on the inside. Because I didn't want to look like a fool.
Well, it's like the dark one on the outside, right?
Do you put on a coat? No, do you put on a coat and then put on the shibby, right? So now it's like there's still a cloak in the back, but the other one's underneath. I was like, no. I put the cloak on like the first time, right?
The first one in the front.
Like a cloak, like that was a light color, right?
Okay,
I put it on like so it's still open in the back.
Open in the back.
Right? So the traditional way you should put on the shibby. And then I put the other one over like an overcoat. So it was like the front was open in the back.
That's what I was going to suggest.
Right.
Because the front area, that is the definite, let's keep this under wraps area. You know what I mean? Like if you're walking and you get a breeze and like a cheek is, it's like, come on, it's a cheek. All right. Like you got one, I got one, but you know, like, so if you got the front locked down, I think you're good. I think you're good on that.
Just lying there on an X-ray table with your junk and your chest hair out.
Just over like it's like an open, just you're like an open robe. You know,
I'm chilling in a silk sash robe.
Are you a robe? Are you a robe guy?
Get me a brandy.
Are you a robe? Do you have a robe?
I do have a robe.
Are you a robe man? Are you a robe boy?
Fact, there was a point in my life when I looked up to my either uncles or dads or brothers, and they're like, "Why are you wearing slippers for real?
Yeah.
Like you bother to put those on, bird. My feet are never cold,
dude."
And then like 15, I'm like, I want a pair of slippers too. And then now you just get old, and now you're just an old man with slippers, and I rock a robe too. I rock a robe in my slippers while sitting in like, I don't know, a beanbag chair or something. I'm like, I am so halfway through this transition.
So if you never wear a robe and slippers, you can live forever, is what you're saying. It's like the key to immortality.
No, not immortality, but youth. To still feel like a kid.
Yeah.
You know how I stay so young? How? You know I'm so worry free.
Stay cold all the time and naked.
Like a child.
Well, sometimes you're like when you're in your robe and like you're sitting, your robe just naturally opens. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't want to stay together. You know, like you're just fighting your robe all day. You're just having this battle.
I want to know how many people are gonna listen to this and think, "Yeah, man, robe troubles."
Yeah, dude. Bro.
Like it's the worst.
Mark gets us, man. Mark and Levi gets us. I'm so happy I listen to this podcast because these guys get the robe problems of the world. You know, like,
first world problems. This is nothing that I want to.
That is a first world problem.
And actually, if I'm gonna backtrack, I have two robes. I have a fleece black robe and I have a silk blue robe.
And those are seasonal, right? Like the totally. Fleece is winter.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Man. I knew this was gonna be good, man. I knew
this was good.
Dude.
But what were we just talking about like 2.2 ago? Other than the robes, first world problems.
First world problems.
Yeah,
man. We were kind of talking about that a little earlier today.
Complaining about what's your real life, and this is what I was gonna save for material. Is like I'm trying to think. All right, what different avenues of what you can consider good or bad. Mm-hmm. Like, how's your personal life going? How's your love life going, which are different? How's your social life going? How's your work life? I'm like, work, I'm making $100 a day, but it's only seasonal, and now I'm all, you're upset because your work doesn't stay all year round.
Yeah, you're not balling all year round.
But you're making good cash in the summer.
Yeah, you're surviving,
summer, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. So I feel like, was that really my problem with work?
Man.
That's my worst problem? That it's seasonal. You gotta do that whiny voice.
Whenever I look at
seasonal.
my problems, I always feel like Dave Chappelle in Half Baked, where like he goes to like the Narcotics Anonymous meeting and he's addicted to marijuana.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
it's
like my problems are nothing compared. Even my parents,
people's problems.
They have way more problems than I do. I am their problem. You know, I can't have problems because I am a problem, you know? Like a problem can't have problems. They're just a problem. Like it's what they are. That's what I am. I'm just a problem with legs. That's it. That's it, man.
That's super harsh, but funny as all F.
I know, man. If you can't make fun of yourself, then you can't make fun of everybody. Behind their back and whisper it. Man. I used to get picked on. I don't know if I got picked on when I was a kid. I think I was just a very sensitive kid. But there was a point in time when, I'm kind of like, they got a point. Like, they're
not wrong.
Everything you're saying is true. I'm not like that's they're like fat, sweaty, little, like you're right. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, it's similar too.
Yeah, man.
Except, I don't know why. Why is it that you get called out and it's like now you're consciously thinking, whenever you're aware of it, it's like if someone says, if you just accept it right in your head.
You're always worried about getting called out too, right? I'm constantly, sometimes for no reason.
For being a loudmouth, for being, you know what I mean, like a show off, for being look at me like little brother. Me,
yeah.
my turn. Wait till I have something to say.
We're both little brothers, so like we both
just all. Yeah, of course, this is how it works.
Yeah,
out.
exactly.
That's why we're doing a podcast to each other for each other.
Exactly. That's it.
Listen to it, and then listen to ourselves later. I can't wait to do that.
It's gonna be amazing. Man.
It is already amazing.
It's gonna be, what the best part is? You listen back and you're like, I don't remember that conversation. Like, I don't remember that part.
Yeah,
and then you think like, what have I said to people? You know, like there's a chance that like you've said things to people that they'll never forget,
and you can't remember.
And you change them, and you have no way. You're just going on.
That's
with your
exactly. Day. I think about this a lot. That's exactly the type of human power you have. And like when I said to my girlfriend yesterday, that I was like, man, whatever I have, I got here on my own. Like I got here by myself.
Yeah.
And she just looked at me like, you've had so much help. I'm like, you're right. I know. I've had so much help from so many people. But really, the currency that I'm spending on, like, really, like, what made me do is because they either like you or willing to do something. You're close enough that you know what I mean. They care. They care, obviously, right? Like to get the help. So I've done at least that part right. I'm not an asshole. You know why? I've done everything on my own by just being nice. And mostly everybody does the rest.
All this around me, I've earned none of it. I've done nothing to deserve any of this, you know? I've always said, like, my parents, they always, like, rub it in my face. Like, you have it way better than, like, when I was a kid and, like, all this. Like, I can't wait to tell my kids how good I had it, you know? Like, oh, man, you guys think Christmas is awesome? You should see what I got for Christmas. Way better than this. We didn't have to split gifts. That's stupid. Oh, you guys got ripped off with parents, man.
That's so funny.
Right? That's like, I feel like that's the only, because I'm not, okay, I'm blessed with my family, and I don't think I'll ever be able to, like, not only repeat that, but give something better than that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think, we'll see. I guess. We'll try it out. Just get one. See how it goes, right? That's what everyone does, right?
Kids at this point are.
Isn't that what most people? They just have one, and they're like, we'll see, how it goes from here.
One kid,
young kid, and they're like, we'll test it out. You know, no, people don't do that. They don't like test it. They just say like, we're gonna have 4, and they just go for it.
Yeah. No, yeah. It's like one, and then we're having another, and then we're having another baby. It's almost like you get a feeling, like, well, like, get the hankerings. Just feel like, I can really go for having a baby.
Yeah, I feel like something to depend on me.
I want a little baby around. Get a little baby fever. You have a baby. My newest thing is I just want to adopt. I think that would help me look more like Mr. Hollywood.
Yeah, like you want to adopt a baby
because that's the thing about a lot about being Canadian. It's like I want to
help out the world.
I want to make one like a Timbit variety pack. I'll have 10 kids from different countries, and I'll teach them all to be Canadian.
Yeah,
and they will be the coolest kids ever.
And one of them will have to be like a successful stand-up comic.
I probably wouldn't like that.
No, you get jealous of them. You're like, yeah, headlining yucks already there, little guy.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that would be my Indian child. My Indian child would be so funny. Oh, my goodness. He'd be the funniest guy ever. He'd be classic.
Levi
witty, smart, dry, just all the above.
He'd be the best, man.
It's like English, but exotic.
Because I love sports and stuff, and I was just watching the draft, and like all these dads, all these dads that played in the NHL, their kids got drafted. And a lot of these kids got drafted like way before their dads did, like higher up. So like technically that just means like they're kind of better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I always think that like as a dad, like you're probably proud, but you're like, yeah, my slap shot's still better than yours, kid. You know what I mean? Like there's like a party that's like, really? You went 8th? I would have taken him 2nd round. Like, you know, like maybe that's just me, you know? Like that's why I don't have kids and shouldn't. You know, like I feel like
No. I think we all experience that. Totally.
Definitely, man. Well, I like Sarah Silverman. I hate quoting comics because they don't deserve to be quoted. But Sarah Silverman said the one time that like comics like have an issue in their relationships. And I shouldn't just say comics, but just people that really enjoy humor in general. Like, because sometimes the joke means more or like is worth more. You know what I mean? Like you'll say a joke at someone's expense that you love just because the joke's so good. You know? Like it might piss them off for a bit. Do you experience that? It's like with your girlfriend, for instance, like you just crack a joke at like the worst time. Like you're in the middle of a fight and she says something, you're like, that's a really good joke, right? You know? like you're screaming at each other, and she just walks.
No. The funny thing is that I write almost best while walking in my own head, or while having an audience rolling with me. When I get the audience rolling with me, I can think. When somebody's going against me, I'm not a very quick thinker. My comebacks to heckling and my girlfriend fighting with me is no, you're a whatever you just said. damn it, I'm so angry.
No, you're irresponsible. No, you're immature.
I'll immature you. Like something really dumb.
Yeah.
Something really dumb.
Yeah.
That's what no you has become almost universal now, where I get no you'd by my nieces and nephews. They're like 4 and like 5 and 7.
They know
They'll
it's
be like,
coming.
you guys got to get out of the pool. And they'll be standing in the pool like, no, you. And they know that I'm not in the pool, but they're just being a fool because that's how they grew up.
Kids.
Kids
these days,
You don't get it, hey? You don't get it. Understand total
it,
difference between you and I. I'm quite paternal. I really do. They're the strangest little people.
What was the first time you did stand up?
It was
like what?
August.
Oh, you
6th?
remember the date? That's amazing.
Yeah, I think it's August 6th at the House of Comedy.
Wow.
2011.
Amazing.
Or 12. 11?
I feel like 11. I feel like you're
11 makes sense.
in like a little while before.
Yeah, 21.
Yeah.
21.
Nice, man.
Right.
And
other than that, I did, like when I was 20, I didn't do a club. I did a talent show, and then I did a talent show that never even went on for when I was in the construction program in Niagara College. Like, look, they got an open mic at a bar there. Little talent shows. Like, I got talent.
Got some talent.
I'm just gonna go ahead and tell some jokes. I did a Chris Farley impersonation, the Matt Foley up on stage. It was funny because it was like, oh, Matt's gonna be your shadow. Here's you, there's Matt. Here's you, there's Matt.
Did you get a table to fall through at all?
No, I didn't have the props. And also just like a voice thing, right? Because I can't even
you can't even
imitate it. It doesn't even look like I'm just not doing it justice. The voice, the tucking in the shirt. And this is the voice.
That is like the masterpiece of like who he is, right? Just like you can him tucking in that shirt like that. Tucking in a shirt isn't funny. Like that's not a funny.
Made it hilarious.
But he made it like the funniest part. That's like, that's beautiful to me. Like you see that, you're just like, that's beautiful. Like that's amazing. Man. So you did House of Comedy.
I did a House of Comedy, and that was I think it was August.
Dave
6th.
Green, Jeff Stroop there.
David Green, Jeff Stroop. Phil Watkins, Craig Watkins, Dan T. Peters.
Dan was there, eh?
I don't even know. Oh, Graham Davidson. Graham. Oh, so it was, it was
nice, man.
Pretty decent lineup.
And
it was all
was
around.
that your
and
first...
I was just stepping into it. I didn't know. I've just been a huge lover of comedy.
Yes.
That's why you get into it,
Same,
right?
man.
You like it so much. I think if you love comedy so much, every person battles within themselves. What side do I stand on?
Yeah.
Am I a comedy goer or am I a comic?
Yeah.
Right? And that's why you get hecklers, because they're sitting in the crowd going, I want to be doing what you're doing right now so bad.
And for them just to like jump on and attach themselves to you in the middle of your performance is much easier than for them to create their own performance, go up on stage.
For example, that's why you pick a different.
That's what offends me about it.
It's upsetting because you picked your side, like with comedy, and that's when I think most comics look at like other comics, or like they'll see somebody on the Ben Guy show on Club 54, they'll see somebody doing I don't know, any of the main stations in Canada, and you're just like looking at this comic like, it's kind of good. Yeah. He's making me laugh, I guess.
Oh, I got a good punchline for this joke.
Yeah, like, unless you're looking at it, you're like, man, it really is that easy, eh? Because you just go up.
Yeah,
they either like you or they don't like you. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to get into the liking me business. Yeah, let's get into the like me business.
A huge percentage aren't going to like you. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
That's the only,
For everybody as a comic, so you just you get the nerve. But that's how I started. I was looking at this comic, and I'm like, this guy's not funny, and it upset me. Yeah, and I thought I could do that. And I just decided, like at 6 years old, of course, there's nowhere to.
It's tough to start at 6.
It's tough to start at 6.
Not too many 6-year-old rooms out there. There used to, back in the 80s, in the big comedy boom, there was rooms that was like just for 5 to 10-year-old comics.
Toddler open mic.
In the 80s boom of stand-up.
That's right. We're gonna be. This is Jeffrey.
How do you think Dane Cook started, man? All right,
Jeffrey. He's 4. He's gonna be doing the alphabet today backwards in a rap.
This is little Dane. He's gonna tell you guys about the Kool-Aid Man coming crashing.
What's the deal with diapers? With Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah, like what's the deal with breastfeeding? I mean, that's my mom. There it is. I'm emailing that to Baby Jerry.
Can you make it sound more baby?
Yeah, how do you make it like...
Right, same thing. What's the deal? But
what's the deal? Well, like, how
now
would you...
shrink that voice.
What's the deal?
Is that like little Jerry?
What's the deal with breastfeeding? That's my mom.
That's my mom. I forgot the punchline. Because my favorite one, I don't even know if this is on the show or whatever. It's when he's like, talking about like, what's the deal with lampshades? If you want the light, why want the shade? It's just like that just plays over loops in my brain 24/7. That stupid bit, man. Yeah. So like, you went to House of Comedy that first time. Did you meet David and like Jeff that night?
David, and there was one other first timer. I was going up as well, and my first time getting up, I had something that I wrote that I knew was going to be funny because it's vulgar. And that was all her small things. Oh. Right? A lot of I had that. That was what I'm going to take this and I'm going to bring it up there. Yeah. That's what I'm going to try to kill some time right up until that. And it was my first year for my closer. It's been a closer, like it's a backup closer.
Yeah.
It's just been signature. So I knew I was going to close with that.
That's amazing. You went on stage the first time and you knew you had a closer.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's good, man.
Right,
that's
thanks,
really
good. Word for word. Enough to like. I feel like this is my backup. I mean, I started in theater just as high school and school.
Yeah,
so I knew a little bit how to do it, but I was winging it, and I opened up with just the Tim Hortons jokes because I was still working at Timmy's, and I was like going to kill some time telling Tim Hortons jokes, and then I'm going to get up and close out with, and then David Green after I had closed, and He's like the first guy. Show him some love. He's got a lot of support because he's like got a lot of support in the crowd because mad people turned out for the very first time. Like my family, like very first time.
Wait, you invited your family,
coworkers, uncles, brothers, sisters.
Your first time.
All my first time,
bro. I didn't even tell anybody.
The leap of faith for going into this. I was more excited. I was 100%.
Man, that's a good call, right? Because when you don't have anyone there and it doesn't go bad, you can just be like, fuck it, I'm never doing this again, right? And just kind of walk away. But when you have people there, it's almost like you're adding like a level of commitment to like going out. That's amazing, man.
And it was just, you're like, afterwards I was ringing, buddy. Like my whole everything was just like, I got to do this again. I got to do this tomorrow. I got to do this next week. I got to do this right now. I got to go go home and write. I'm like, I want to do this again and again and again. There's so many things that's going to work. I was just so like manic, so wound, fired right up. But like there was probably like 27 people in the crowd that turned out. It was really nice for the local town, right?
Yeah, dude.
So for like brothers and sisters, and they don't show up anymore.
No, yeah.
Now I have a hard time for getting 10 people into
it's like, yeah, we
the
get
competition.
It. You're a comic. Yeah, we've seen it.
Yeah. But David Green, after I did the la 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 la, I was like, all right, thank you, good night. And then he just stood there like, Lee, how do I follow Blink-182 performing cunnilingus? Like just so clean,
just so appropriate.
Right? Like, he's like, what do I even say after Blink-182 performing cunnilingus? And I laughed so hard. At that point, I remember regularly going to the shows and like just that's what I'm saying. I like to laugh. The guys were so funny. It was all brand new. It's all these local guys. First time going out to a real open mic at a club, and David Green would tell me jokes that get funnier in my head that you unravel like origami, you know what I mean? Like 4 levels deep, and then you see the whole picture, and you're like, and people think that you don't get the joke, and it's like, okay, cool, yeah, but I laughed on the initial, like, oh my God, that's funny, and then it just kept getting funnier.
I'm peeling it. That angle and that angle,
And the two jokes I think had podiatrist. The word pediatrician. Never argue with your doctors. They have never argue with your doctors. They have very little patience. No, don't argue with your doctor. I can't believe I'm screwing up a David Green joke. What am I doing right now? Just saying my best buddy.
Levi? What are you doing? Stop it!
Stop saying your own jokes.
Stop it! I love it, man.
They would crack me up. They'd kill me, right? Like
we've always secretly just wanted to do a whole David Green set on stage one time, man.
I did a set as Tom Holman's brother.
Really?
Tim Holman.
Yeah, how'd that go? Does Tim do comedy?
Yeah, he did.
Oh.
I borrowed like a hat, you know.
I've never
hat,
performed with.
And I put on the beard and like
really?
a sweater.
I don't even know if I met. I think I've just met Tom.
Just imitating my friend, right? Just imitating my friend. Like, well, he always had a certain kind of sweater, like a wool sweater, a front forward, like material hat, like a dress hat, and then a beard, always holding his pint glass, right? And he just kind of sways back and forth. And I just imitated him, mocked him, and did a set like him.
That's amazing.
And it's really fun,
dude.
Can't believe how long it's been. It's been a long time now. Yeah. So now it's coming around. What is that? 2001. It is now 2016.
5 years?
So 5 years later.
Yeah, man.
And you and I are competing again.
Yeah.
we haven't competed.
We haven't competed since the first Niagara's Top Comic.
That's right.
When you came out on top. You
right.
You want to know Levi Marc 2. It's like UFC.
Yeah. Yeah, but you have 2 titles. You have the next year, but we didn't compete, right?
Yeah.
So
I don't have 2 titles.
And then you won Showtime.
Yeah, but it's not like a title. I just got like the picture on the wall, and it's like the picture of me with that teddy bear.
That's the funniest. Oh my god,
dude! The best thing about that was like me and my buddy, and it's kind of like doing this. Where like we have so much fun doing something like ridiculous and stupid like this. And it was like we were taking we took those stupid photos in like a Walmart photo center, like with just some like weird 14-year-old taking like the pictures of us. And she's like, what are you guys doing? Like she was so confused of like why these 2 grown men are taking holiday pictures together. And not just holiday pictures, but like we're like gallivanting and like holding each other's hands. So the one was me holding the teddy bear. And in my head, I'm like, it's so funny, man. Oh, my buddy's going to laugh at this. But then there's people out there, they don't expect to ever look at it. Like your girlfriend's father to see you like this is the man that loves my daughter. It's this grown man holding this teddy bear in his hands right now. You know what I mean? It's like, oh. It's not like Facebook. You can like limit who sees some things, right? But you can't do that in life, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, like we just went there one day and we were just creeping out. This poor girl, like the first 10 minutes, she was so terrified of what we were doing. And then by like the end of the session, she was like totally into it, coming up with ideas. Like we got her on our side after a while.
Of course.
But yeah, man, but that was just the ridiculousness. So me and you, August 6th, going at it again.
6th.
What if we just make it into like a roast battle or something like that, where our sets are just us trashing each other, and it's not even funny. We just are just rude to each other on stage. And everyone's like, it's kind of awkward.
All right, well, one of us has got to wear blue, and one of us has got to wear red.
Yeah, we'll throw it up. We'll throw up the signs. Like St. Catharines is cool with gang signs, right? What kind of gangs are in St. Catharines? Like vegetarians? No, we're the vegans. And like they're the ones
e-bikes or Segways. Some dumb. Oh, those things that you stand on. Yeah.
Yeah, those hoverboards.
Hoverboard. Vegans on hoverboards.
Vegans don't ride hoverboards. They're too fragile, man. Get out of here.
No, that's exactly it.
They'll just collapse. They'll crumble. No?
No.
They're strong?
No, they're totally, man. They're just like in the wind. They blow in the wind. You don't even hear them.
They're just like,
you know, like when a bag.
That's how they travel around. They just open their arms like, and then they just like fly across, and they just hope the wind takes them where they need to go. They're like sails. They just sail everywhere.
Exactly.
Oh my god,
that's
man.
That's exactly how I imagine. Because meat makes you heavy. That's what
it does. But I heard like vegans got to eat like a lot of carbs and stuff, though. I think too. Like they eat like a lot of bread
and vegetables.
Yeah, that's about all they can have.
That's good. That's good for them, I guess. It's good for the planet, I suppose, which is also noble.
Yeah, like I like.
But I think
I appreciate
the vegan
it, man,
diet
because like
the only diet because we've exhausted most of the resources.
We have, man. We've definitely done a poor job. Like we haven't managed this well.
You know what's my favorite part about this is that we say we, and we are like, yeah, I don't even care, bro, how different of childhoods we had with what type of number in the bank. We are still middle class. We've seen nice things and we've seen shitty things.
Yeah.
We haven't seen horrible things.
No, we
haven't seen
the greatest
things in the world,
man.
Right? We live next to Niagara Falls, which is a wonder of the world.
And we're just like, meh.
That's pretty cool. It's about the top. That's peaking. It's gonna go down.
It's just water, guys.
My friend said that, so I pushed him in. Like, It's just water.
Man, when I was a little kid, I was terrified of the falls, man. I did not mess with the falls. I did not like going, and like still to this
Today,
day.
you do mess with the falls? Throw a paddle out there, see if, oh, that's a good
Just
one.
messing with it. Just messing. He's strong today. She's a strong waterfall
You're like
today.
walking across the top, slow. I got it. This.
What if I just hung out beside the brink of the falls? You know, like when you go to a zoo and like the animal trainers there, and like this is a West African rhino, and like they pretend to know. Well, if I pretended to like train the falls, I'm like, no, don't touch her today. Don't touch her today. She's having a rough day. Like I just like guided people, gave them like, and I think there's people that do that already.
What? No,
But what if I treated it like an animal? Like I was like
treat it
petting
like
it.
it was
and
alive?
stuff.
I got a
Yeah.
mood.
Yeah, you just feed it. You just throw garbage in it. Like, oh, it's hungry. Just dump a bunch of like compost.
Coffee beans from Tim Horton.
Yeah, that's where it all ends
It
up.
helps
anyways,
to keep
right?
the fish awake.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but we are lucky. We have like.
Pretty good. Yeah, middle class, all the above. And then we're saying, yeah, we've done a terrible job. Neither of us had any input on the direction
it's not been up to
of
us
the
yet.
globe.
Has not been up to us. Probably never will be up to us. There'll never be a day where like we have to come up with a decision. Call Marc and Levi. They have to put it. Like we're never.
Okay, I gotta show you what that most important. Could you call me?
Could I? Yeah, I could call you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call Levi.
That's what
everybody.
That's what this would sound like. With that
right.
with that major political decision or like government tactic, something extremely.
Why does voicemail
classified.
exist? I don't ever check it.
Yeah, right.
You know, I just accidentally touch it sometimes. It's just
That's super funny. But like I want you to hear what this most important phone call would
right,
sound
calling
like
you right
coming
now.
in.
So
to
this
my
is
phone.
like
this is my ringtone.
We need Levi's approval to save the world. We're calling him. What is that?
Hello?
Oh, I just hung up on you. Well, what was that?
Oh, maybe he's not there. It's just me
That's
recording
you
my
doing
own
that?
voice.
That was you? I thought that was you.
It's just me. With
Were you just like, oh, you were just bored one night? Just like, oh, hello.
Exactly. You know where I got the voice?
What?
From Three Ninjas.
Which one?
That's the lead
The one
stooge. Can't remember
burglar
the guy's
guy?
name. The one burglar.
Yeah. Oh, major fender bender.
Fender bender.
Yeah, that's what I learned.
exactly.
The term fender bender was from Three Ninjas.
Exactly. Me too. The
Yeah.
90s childhood.
Yo,
All right,
Three Ninjas
cowabunga.
taught us.
And we're like, when he picks up like the little drawstring and he's talking
Yeah.
to the camera, he's like, hello. hello, calling out cars. We got a break and robbery on. And he gives away his own location.
Yeah, because
like,
it's like to the girl,
it's
right?
a joke.
Across
Yeah.
Man,
It's
he's
such
like
a joke.
He's just like the poor man's Keanu Reeves, right? Like that's what they really like. Hello. They're like Keanu originally had the role but dropped out last minute.
He was
Yeah.
like somewhere between Keanu and Michael Myers. Somewhere between like Austin Powers and
Neo or Ted.
yeah.
Is he
Hello. So that's where that came from, and that's now what that would sound like. And I got it on an app that basically just bends your voice to say whatever you'd like it to say. For example, what is this podcast called?
Marc and Friends.
Marc and Friends. Marc and Friends. No, I mixed up my R. But we'll see how this goes. You realize what I tried to do there?
Yeah, man, that's impressive that you
I
just
tried to just say that backwards. Let's see how much it sounds like the original
Okay.
thing. Sounds
That's amazing, man.
Sounds like Frankenstein trying to say.
Dude,
hold
that's
on,
so
backwards. And then realize where I messed up.
It's like the last thing I'm gonna hear as like the zombie like chokes me up. Well, you were like when you go to and you're like, and
All right, so if I just went like this, Marc and Friends. And play it backwards.
Snurf negrum. Is that it? Is that it?
It's gonna sound like it was Snurf Niagara.
That's it. That's it. Just see what happens. Say that. See what happens.
Snurf Regnum. Backwards?
Yep. It worked. It worked. It totally worked. It totally worked.
Sounds like my girlfriends now.
My girlfriends. Oh, my girlfriends.
All right.
Amazing, man. Amazing. Dude, what are your upcoming shows and stuff? Do you have any, like... I'm going to put this up tonight.
I thought there was going to be a show tonight.
Yeah.
And I switched my shift and I got all ready. I'm like, all right, babe, I'll just pick you up. Or well, I don't have a car, so I can't pick her up. That was a bold-faced lie. But
hey, you're on the internet. You can lie.
All right. Well, so...
It's Keanu Reeves, by the way, guys. If you're just joining us, I'm sitting down with Keanu.
Here I was.
Yeah.
And I had to get a car.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I couldn't pick her up. So when I went over to get her, I used my car to get there.
Yeah.
Mostly.
What'd you do the other time? Like sometimes I walked while the car rolled beside me, and then I just got into it and then mostly drove it. Amazing, man. Dude,
Well, there were brakes in the driving. I felt it important to say
it wasn't
that.
my call. It was the lights' call, but like it wasn't up to me.
I just love how it keeps getting worse and worse.
That's the end.
Eventually, we sound just like British.
Yeah, we're just a bunch of David Greens.
Oh,
Yeah. I think that's good. As soon as we start, like,
that's
it's usually
the
that's
end
all
of
my
the
podcasts end with just like, okay, this guy gonna shut up.
All right,
So, man, August 6th, you're gonna be
August 6th, we're gonna
Showtime.
be.
You're gonna be at Showtime. I'm gonna be at Showtime.
We're gonna be the hands
man.
down. We're gonna be,
Showtime Comedy
kicking butt.
Entertainment on Facebook. I think there's
right.
like the link. There's like an Eventbrite link,
Yes.
and if you go on there, you can like buy tickets for $2 or like it's like $2.75, I think,
Where?
at most or something. And then you click the comic's name that you want to buy tickets under. I'm doing it. And for those of you at home, everybody except the two people on this show, I'm touching the wall as if it's a tablet or some sort.
It's not helping at all
It's not helping. There's no visual cues needed.
for yourself.
Yeah, it helps me, you know, like
Their names. You can click on their
you
names.
click on their names, and that helps them get on the show because I think you need to sell like 10 tickets or something to get on the show. So it's like $2, and you know, honestly, it's the best comics in the area, man. Killers on that show, and it's not even like. It's like competition shows are great because you get a lot of good comedians come out to them because they love to be competitive. And
Yes, they do.
yeah, man.
And
There's stuff
And
on
the
the
crowds.
line.
The crowds are fire.
The crowds are great, dude. There's always like a little something extra on there. There's always a
still some extra on there.
little something more.
All
So
right.
yeah, August 6th.
August 6th will be a showdown, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it from you, dude. I know I don't have much steam and enthusiasm right now, but...
I know, man. I gotta do. I gotta write some new material. I'm trying to do it lately. I got a couple
New
new
material. Yeah, sit down and you write a lot of garbage, and then you got to get rid of that garbage flat out. And
Dude,
just you
that's it,
find
man.
one gem,
Bro.
and then you keep digging. I recently got the word jumbo. I had to make jokes about anything that was jumbo, and I'm like, I don't know if I can draw new material from
jumbo.
Let's see, and like I don't know what comes to mind. I'm like, what sizes do you have? Small, medium, large, extra large, jumbo, and American. Which is just like this bastardly large size. But like still, I just slid jumbo in there.
Just a tub.
Just a tub. Just a bucket. Just a backpack you walk around with.
It's like one of those camel packs with like the straw, like the hikers use.
soda.
Just pure pop.
Everybody's sitting there outside like a gas station and a fucking gun attendant filling up backpacks of Coca-Cola.
Yeah, there's people just pull up and just like pull out their backs, and this guy just pumps up their backs like a gas pump, and it's just pop. It just
Soda.
fuels them for the day.
That's the worst.
Sorry, soda.
Soda. Yeah, right. And what else was I saying?
Oh yeah.
Then Coca-Cola.
We got talking about. Oh no. We got talking about you with a bunch of pop. That was like you sound like a pterodactyl there.
No.
No. It was
No. Jumbo
jokes. That's like American size. The tub of pop.
Right. And the only thing, this example, it's funny when you preempted. The only other joke that I wish to repeat is, do you know another name for a large elephant soup? That's a jumbo, dumbo, gumbo. It took a lot of thought.
That's it, man.
It
takes time.
You get through those jokes, and then you're like, I'm never gonna say this on stage.
Bro.
But when there's a pause, you know what I mean? Like you get this really big, like, you know, like people are like, yeah, that's a good point, but you have nothing else to say about it. You throw in one of those stupid jokes just to feel like you're like, while they're deep in thought and like have something tangible to chew on,
something to marinate.
You give them something
so shallow.
That's shallow, like a of just, you know, you sunk them so deep, and then you just throw something shallow over top, and they look at it, and the whole audience is like, that's stupid.
Man.
It's so stupid, and they laugh because you chose to follow up.
And nothing worse is like, I get like, you write those jokes and you're like, this is going to be amazing. And like you're writing it and you're getting so excited, and you go on stage and you do it exactly the way you want to do it, and it's not funny. And you're just like, oh man, like it sucks. Or like it's funny, but you thought it was going to like, people were going to die because it was so funny. You thought people were going to like there was going to be ambulances needed to be called because you're like, I'm going to bring this house down with this joke. And it turns out that it's just like, yeah, good point. I'm like, no, you know, and then you just riff something stupid off the top of your head, and that's what crushes. And you're like, oh, I don't know what's funny. I just accidentally do from time to time, you know, like I just stumble into a joke.
Right. No, funny character, and you trust yourself to be, and have a, you know, come from being in a good mood. Like it'll happen to you, and your energy. Honestly, you just rely on yourself. I do. Larry Smith does that. Comic of, you know, one of the
Larry's amazing. Larry Smith is an unbelievable comic,
and one of the first pros I ever worked with.
Yeah,
I
man.
suppose.
Guy's a legend around here, dude.
Yeah, Matt and Matthews, Marc Matthews.
Yep, Marc's the man, dude. I'll get Marc on here one day. I feel like should get him on. Man, he's got so much to say, dude. This guy's got to open up for Seinfeld.
What's the deal?
Yeah, he can talk to us about baby Seinfeld, right?
Oh my God,
Imagine I'm like, I was working with Jerry, and he drops like, yeah, actually, you know, Jerry started in the third grade. The third grade, and one of those toddler clubs. That's where Jerry started. It's the toddler club, man.
The toddler open.
No smoking in the toddler clubs. Obviously, the toddlers. You know, you can smoke around toddlers. Can you smoke around toddlers if the toddlers are smoking themselves? That's a question.
Yes, you can much easier, because I think everyone's going to be way more concerned about the
toddler. Yeah, like they're not even worried about use. That's the thing. So like, you know, when you go to Disney, you can't smoke in Disney, but if you let your kids smoke, you can smoke the whole day. No one's going to be looking at you smoke. Everyone's going to be like, oh my God, look at that toddler smoking, right? That's how you get through it. That's how you get through, like, if you want to smoke in public where you're not allowed to smoke, give a cigarette to your kid, and then you're good. And then you're fine. You're safe. You're good, man. Can't do that? You're not about that?
I can't. No, it's no, do it up.
Well, man, there's that law in Ontario where if you're driving, you can't have a cigarette, and if there's like someone under the age of 16 in the car.
Yeah.
But what if they're smoking a dart? What if they're the one? Right?
You're up for questioning. Yeah, no, you'll think you'll get charged for all of them realistically, but on a moral issue, I'm pretty sure you guys are even. That's fair.
Yeah,
you
dude.
know, like
that's fine, man. I'm good with that. Because I feel like I know obviously you don't want your kid to smoke. Like that's not what you want as a parent. But if they're like super young and they start smoking, that is viral worthy, right? There was that kid like in India or whatever that smoked like a pack a day. Right? Like that. Like, do you ever see that little Indian kid that smokes? I think I can just pull it up right here real quick. We've never done this before on the podcast, folks. I'm gonna type in smoking baby. Yeah, look at this kid, man.
Wow. I mean,
look at him. Look at him. He's shredding the guitar. A fake guitar. Dude, does he not look like he
looks like he owns the
Sorry, he's Indonesian. How terrible of me. I'm so sorry. I'm way too white. But this kid smokes 40 cigarettes a day. I know most people, and look, he flicks them around. That's a king size dart too. Like that's not just a regular cigarette. That kid's smoking king sizes. Eh? That's a big cigarette too. Or maybe it's just a regular size and it's a baby smoking it. That's why it looks like a king size. But yeah, so I'm sure everyone listening has seen this video before, but if you haven't seen it, it's just called Indonesian Baby on 40 cigarettes a day. And this kid smokes so many cigarettes that when he lights a new cigarette, he lights it with his old cigarette. That's how many cigarettes, like he just doesn't stop. And he can blow smoke. You see him blowing smoke hose. He can blow like the rings. How crazy is that?
I just think he's gonna hate his life, or maybe he loves his life.
I heard he quit now. I heard he's good. He's quits. I think he's fine now.
There's something else.
A lot of kids smoking, man. I lived in Brantford for a few years, so I saw a lot of little kids smoke. It's honest, like we joke about it, but it's like, because it's unpleasant. Because it's not only about like the kids smoking, it's like what kind of environment created a child smoker, you know? You know what I mean?
Our whole society created a child smoker. Our whole
it's the
collective
system, man.
Yes, of course, man. What are you saying? What type of environment? I think his parents teach him right or wrong on not to smoke cigarettes. The fact is that we keep making cigarettes.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the person
really
telling you not to smoke it just had a dart. There's a problem. There's a problem there.
I guess that's a problem.
Yeah, man. But
I guess that's scary. But if
I'm just lucky. I've always personally, like when I was a teenager, obviously I tried cigarettes. I hated them, man. I hated cigarettes, dude. Like, and I'm blessed. Like I don't know what it is. You know? Yeah. I wish I hated coffee. I don't hate coffee. I love coffee so much. You know, like I love it. Don't tell it I said it.
Please. And you know what I love about coffee?
Everything
is the fact that like I've just drank different, like you change your staple.
Yeah.
You change what your go-to is. So like I get my caffeine from this double baked green tea.
Yep.
Because it's like zing. All right, I'm awake. I feel cleansed. Like, you know what? I need to have coffee. Need to have coffee, and it was double for so long, and then you're just like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna go black.
I'm a black man.
I'm a black man.
I'm
just gonna drink black coffee, and then I'm like, it's a bit bitter. I like sugar in it, so I put sugar in it, and that was just like evolved and rolled down, and now I'm 2 cream shot of espresso.
Can I tell you why? I'm an honest person. I'm gonna tell you why I drink black coffee. Because I'm honest. Because like one of my dad's friends, his name was Gordy. He's like, talks like this. He's like a man's man. I build cars with my left hand and I build trucks with my right hand at the same time. I sit in between them and I build 2 cars. Like he's just this man's man. And like he was pouring. He's like, yeah, I remember him being like, I like black Joe. Like he calls it Joe, like a cup of Joe. Yeah. Nice thick black cup of Joe. And I'm sitting there like, see, that's a man right there, Mark. Like my brain is telling me that at a young age. Like, see that guy right there? That's a man. You know what you are? Not a man. That man's hands have never been as soft as your hands are right now. There's nothing worse as a man than when someone compliments you on how soft your hands are. Yeah. It's like, oh, look how little you do.
yeah, really. Definitely a huge difference between most of the men in my family, like electricians, mechanics.
Yeah, that's my dad and his uncles, mechanics, all work with their hands and shit. Yeah. And it's just like
I'm a server. I'm an actor.
Yeah. I like to make jokes.
I like to make jokes. I hold a microphone.
Yeah, that's like because like I'm embarrassed is like a strong word, but like sometimes like people are like, oh, you do comedy, and it's like, yeah. It's like, oh, like at a job interview, do you have comedian on your resume?
Yeah.
Yeah, does anyone ever say like, oh, you do comedy? Ever get like a like it's like a negative thing? Has anyone ever looked at you as a comedian in a negative way?
No. Because I'm very, very, you know what I mean? I'm still very up in your face about it.
Yeah.
People are like, you do comedy.
Yeah, people don't get that with me.
I guess there's just people.
They're like, you don't expect.
They don't expect anything more than me. I look like a loudmouth. My eyebrows are just saying everything. Like I don't have to speak. You know what I mean? I look like
this guy does comedy as soon as he walks in.
Yeah, he looks like a loudmouth little douche, a little douchey loudmouth
that we all love.
Like he's a charming little lovable douchebag. I don't want because I'm such a nerd, because I'm such a softie. Actually, just similar to you, I try to put up that front.
Yeah.
So like when I go shopping for clothes, I could get fucking video game clothes. I could get classic rock. I could do comic book. You know what I mean? So many comic books. So many Marvel up the yin yang, Ninja Turtles. Right? Like I am a nerd. I like Star Wars even too, but I'm not gonna rep this. I could go through having a pot shirt and like all like things that I love, but I don't go through all these different like labeled shirts.
Yeah.
I try to dress like a douchebag so that people see me and they're like, look at this fucking Jiminy douchebag.
So you go shopping, you're like, yeah, it's pretty douchey.
It's pretty douchey.
That's how you buy stuff?
Exactly.
That's amazing.
I'm like, does this make me this? When I put this on, I want people to think in their minds, this guy. If this guy was a redneck, he would be douche a hazard. If he was a wizard, he'd be Dumble douche.
That's it. That's what you get.
If this guy, this
So
guy is
lifted?
so douchey, it's indouche-scribable. You can only measure it on the douchey decimal system. If this guy was a pop, he'd be Mountain Douche.
Are you just ripping this right now?
No, there's this huge list that I wrote. Just kept going and kept going and going and kept going. If this guy was your conscious, he'd be Jiminy Douchebag.
This is just...
And just kept going.
So this
like
is
if
an
he
old bit?
Yeah.
Like, did you ever try this? I never heard you.
If this guy was Jesus, no, something I just dug out. If this guy was Jesus, he wouldn't even have 12 douche disciples. Wouldn't follow him.
No, too douchey.
He would douche onto others as he wishes others to douche onto him.
That's way funnier.
If this guy was a Star Wars character, he'd be Douche Vader, asking young Douche Skywalker to join the douche side of the
douche
Force.
side. There is a douche side, man.
Of the Force.
And it's tempting sometimes, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
It's such a tempting side of the Force, man. It's so easy, bro. I remember, like, just being a
That's
young...
exactly where it all comes from, is it's so easy, bro.
Exactly.
You just do things with the
Just
minimalistic
think of
effort.
yourself.
You're like,
Just
how
think of
many
yourself.
people do I cut off? That's what being a douche ultimately is like in the traffic world. Like when you cut
Yep.
somebody off, that is exactly what the life. Instead of traffic, it's a life stream. Hey, I'm trying to get from point A to point B as a spiritual person, and you interject like sandwich in the face. Like, I'll ruin my lunch.
Yeah.
Douchebag. But I
But,
thought
like-
of it. I said no, but I could have done it. It was
Dude,
easier.
exactly,
That guy's a
man.
douche.
Driving in a car is just a metaphor of life. And if someone's like an idiot enough just to get in your way and just think about them to pull in front, like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
just do that in life in general.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's what makes
Damn.
a douche is the guy
Yeah.
that turns a cut off douche.
Well, have you ever like left somewhere with like someone you know and you see them drive away and then they cut off somebody or like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
just see that and you're like, oh my god, Gregory, right? Like I'll never look at him the same. So I'm just cut off that old lady.
Yeah.
I've almost hit my mailman like 4 times with my car. And he does not like me. This guy does not. I wave at him. I get stiffed by the mailman. I just wave. He doesn't even look at me. The mailman, who are known for just waving at people as they walk down. Like, this guy's like, oh, Caligero House. Oh, my God.
This guy's gonna kill me one day.
It's 12:30. This kid's still wearing his robe. Like, look at this kid. Look at this robe boy.
Robes.
That's the callback. That's the callback. We should just end it with the callback to the robes.
Oh yeah, first world problems, man.
First
Robes.
robe problems.
First robe problems.
First robe problems, bro.
My second robe, perfect. First robe, problems. Always problems.
Excuse me, can you tie up your robe? You're exposing yourself a little bit. Oh, first row problems, lady. All right. Be thankful for what you got. I think I would make an unbelievable degenerate
In a movie.
in life. Like, just if everything goes bad, I think, like, if everything were to go bad for me, I think I'd be so good at it that it would be okay. You know, like I would get through it because I'm so good at being bad, you know? And I feel like that's my saving grace in life, man.
That's something else.
I feel like that's a lot. I feel like that's the same with like a lot of comedians. We're just really good at nothing.
All right, yeah, no, all the above.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, man. At Oh Hey Man on Facebook, on
Oh, hey,
Twitter.
man. Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter.
Man. That's
Oh,
two
hey, man.
two N's in man.
That's my last name, man.
Yeah, Levi.
Man.
Oh hey man.
Yeah.
What? That's your. Imagine I never got like oh hey man until now. I was just like, what?
That's so clever. When did you write that?
The whole time? The whole time? The whole time? The whole time? Like it was Mrs. Doubtfire when he gets Daniel. The whole time? Just like standing there with like his face is up at a dinner table. Just like the whole time. So I don't know. I don't know. I love him. Man. I'm stupid. I'm just gonna shut up. This is where I should shut up and stop talking. I've like my brain told me to shut up like 20 minutes ago, and I just kept going. So at Oh Hey Man on Twitter.
That's right.
Facebook, just Levi Mann. Do you have like a comedy page at all, or just kind of do it through your personal?
I have the Greenlight Comedy Night, and that is no longer up and running under my Shibi.
Yeah, I think Rehan's
might be hosting it.
That's the rumor right now. I don't know.
I like it. All the above. The room has a life of its own. I'm just saying that you can check those out. Pop in and out, but until then, it is up at the Showtime Comedy Club. It's Showtime. Showdown. It's gonna be Showdown at Showtime. Yeah,
Showtime. Can't promote Showtime enough and for what they're doing for all the comics in the area and just giving us a place where it's like, this is a place for comedy. This isn't a coffee shop where we do comedy every other week. This isn't a bar where we do comedy in the corner. This is a place where you come for comedy. And like, that's so refreshing.
Yes.
And like, it's like, I remember I did Yuck Yucks for the first time a couple years ago. I remember that was my first time ever doing comedy in a comedy club. And I've already been doing it for like a year at that time, like a bunch of shows. And you think like, wow, this is the first. It's like playing hockey for a year and like finally playing hockey like in a hockey arena. You know, and it's wow, this is what it's supposed to be like. You know, like it's not just a pond in your backyard. It's an actual like hockey arena. It's where it's designed for that purpose.
I like that the metaphor you use is compared to our national sport as opposed to our national entertainment.
Yeah,
just man, like all these Canadian comics, we're funny.
I'm so proud,
hockey.
man.
You're like,
I'm so proud
big time.
of
No, absolute,
Canada,
absolute, and the Showtime is going to be good.
Yep.
It is a good
August
club.
6th.
I'm very excited about
hop on Showtime on Facebook, Showtime Comedy
on
Entertainment, Oh Hey Man on Twitter.
What is your closing out? Is there a sound or anything, or do you just go? Yes.
I go, and then I just hit.
I like it.
Yeah, no, I usually me and my buddy years ago we used to say to each other, "Take care, comb your hair."
All right.
Like, take care, comb your hair, buddy. Like something like that.
Yeah.
And till the next time we meet, keep your shoes on your feet. And those are like the two things. We're like, hey, next time we meet, keep your shoes on your feet, buddy. Like, we're just like these stupid. So I always say
some
one of those.
salutation and then something in regards to your personal belonging.
Yeah. Hey. And then like the thing that
take care, comb your hair.
Take care, comb your hair. Right. That's my favorite one. But the thing that happened.
So next time I see you, don't get diarrhea.
Wow. Is that new?
Totally.
That's just man. You could have been my best friend from the very beginning. You would have like, we didn't even know who you are. We'd be like, take care, comb your hair. And you'd be like, next time I see you, don't get diarrhea. We'd be like, be our best friend right now. I'm driving you to school every day. Where do you live? Where do this? Yeah, that too. Yeah, no, I wasn't sure where you're Yeah, so that's why I always ended on. It's like,
take care,
comb your hair. But what I was going to say, what that kind of turned into was just telling people to comb their hair. Like someone would say, all right, see you later, guys. But all right, comb your hair. And then like sometimes I would say it and like people would be like, oh, why would you say something like that? That's mean. Like what is that? Like, I'm not mean. I'm just
reminding you to do something.
Go comb your hair.
Yeah.
Just comb it, buddy.
All right, take it easy. Brush your teeth. Brush your teeth.
Brush your teeth. Hey, why don't you go upstairs and brush your teeth? Get those teeth brushed.
Take it easy. Brush your teeth.
Like you're just up there just brushing the letter T. Like, oh, this guy every night makes me brush my teeth. Yeah, man. Oh, at Hey Man on Twitter.
All right.
I'm at the real Marc Cali on Twitter. Marc Caligiuro at Calaguiro. There's on Facebook there. Big thanks coming to Levi Mann for joining us today, Levi. Big thanks. Of course, you can catch Levi at Showtime Comedy and Entertainment and find him on Twitter. Thanks to everybody for listening today. This is Casey Kasem. And before we go, we have one quick letter here from our reader. And they say, Dear Casey, till the next time we meet, keep your shoes.